if we somehow could get to drop down upon this roof of this, we could like enter the window, right?
That
Theoretically possible. would require some fierce climbing checks, probably, and a way to break the window.
Breaking the window, I'm sure we could find out. I mean,
I
what
have
is
a
it made
glass
of?
cutter, man.
Magic, power glass, like
I bought that at
force
character
field.
creation.
It is. You haven't really studied the window. You doubt it's like thin cathedral glass. It's more likely like a form of like translucent like crystal or obsidian or something.
I think that's too outlandish of a plan to consider given our layout. Perhaps if we all had easy transportation to fly over the walls far into the darkness and then land on the tower, yeah, sure, but then it's a little too hopeful.
I have a feeling Ellie, for example, is going to have a hard time climbing like that.
You do estimate that the current like manpower of Vothos itself is probably around 100 or so.
I knew they had several dozen at least.
Yep. As how many of them are actually loyal to the Baroness, you couldn't say. But it is safe to assume, like you did, that there is probably a hardened core around her.
See, and at the top level, I presume that's where she keeps like her personal guard. So even if we do strike a deal with the guard captain, there's still going to be those, and I'm sure she's got courtesans and other amusements up there.
Definitely. You also know that the court and tower alchemist is one of her siblings, Andaria Sevastia.
Yeah.
Oh, her.
Well, she was stationed outside of Vothos at that gatehouse, right?
No. That the alchemist is someone different. The sort of like the cousin or niece or whatever who's stationed like in the guard post. She's not the alchemist.
No.
Nope.
There's actually an alchemist of Vothos who has been known to drag in Zan and toy with.
A lot of them.
On that note, do we actually think we could? I mean, the guardhouse is going to be taken first, right? That's obvious. But perhaps we could make some like who leads that? Perhaps we could make that person join us. That would be a nice increase in manpower.
What?
The guardhouse?
Yeah, like there was a guard post at the very sort of where the way from Vothos goes to into the fungal jungle, right?
Yep. Oh, right.
Oh, it's possible that we could recruit some of them. I don't know, though. I would rather be from the position of strength like we actually have Vothos. Because, again, any sort of approach to that could result in a runner running right back to Vothos and, like, the Baroness being told everything.
Like, if we don't... I mean, they're going to have scouts on the Dark Road as well.
Oh, yeah, the Dark Road is certainly
heavily patrolled.
We kill them, so they can't run. It's easier to kill people who aren't being hidden by, like, a little wall on the other side of the outpost.
You do know that the one commanding the supposed guard post at the fungal jungle entrance is Hestia Sevastia.
Hestia Sevastia.
But she was like an ex-lover punished for something.
Besides,
Perhaps she is angry.
We can always use the House Sevastia pendant to bluff our way down the Dark Road.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if we need manpower, that's a possibility.
It's a possibility, but I think they would be just as willing to stab us in the back as anything else the moment we presented any sort of weakness at all. Particularly Hestia Sevastia. I don't think it's I think it would be a desperation angle.
You don't know much about her, and none of you actually spoke to her. You know she was one of the Baroness's lover, and as such, you know, a complete sycophant, probably.
Right.
But for her personal motivations, you don't know.
Well, we do know the personal motivations of most drow.
Yes, certainly. You know that intimately. Did any of you actually study under the alchemist on Vothos?
No.
I would have, but
I remember that. I spent more time with the torturer than I did with the alchemist.
Ah, yes. Gorval Harak.
Yeah, there we go. I like him. He's a good guy. He can be turned to our side just fine.
You know that Gormar Harak is someone who loves his craft.
Yes,
He
that he
takes
really-
great pleasure in it.
Really loves his job, and I can get behind that.
Yeah, as for the alchemist Andaria Sevastia, you're not quite sure either. She didn't seem to be too interested in the courtly intrigues and stuff. You have seen her, talk to the Baroness and sitting at her council and everything, but she has mostly been engaged in her laboratory most of the time you've been there.
I would rather kill her more to prevent her from, say, like being unruly and going into the jungle and then trying to find more experiments that would fuck up our alliance. I think the alchemist of Vathas there and Daria Sevastia is a destabilization thing. I don't think we could keep her under our thumb.
Well, I mean, you can always give her the choice, right?
Right,
If she's really stupid enough to go out there, she will die.
Right, we could give her a choice, but it would be the same thing as if Alauneari was told, you can either agree with me and say so, or die. Well, I agree with you.
I mean, isn't that fine? That's what
Still
every
gonna go-
single
she could
one
still
of
go
our
out and do
people
it,
do.
Right, and then...
I don't think any of them would really be loyal in the end if it came down to it.
Well, then as soon as they look away, they'd work towards, subverting you.
We have a reason for trade then if we have a demand.
You also know that there is. Let's see. Let me take a look. Yes, the main entrances to the tower itself is basically you can't see it because it's on the side here.
Right.
But that main entrance leads into basically the first floor here, the bottom floor. There's actually not really any direct rooms in use on this floor. It is more of a sort of open storage area. So any battle that would be fought up the tower would have to go through the many staircases leading up. And then you would have a situation where actually a relatively small force could probably hold a tower quite well. Basically, it would be fighting uphill in staircases, where it would be easy to block.
So if we were, I assume then that we can't do this stealthily, right? We have to take the gate first.
I mean, we could attempt stealth. The ballistas could be sabotaged, some other sorts of things, but I think it has to be that brute force approach. Vathas was designed so well to prevent it being taken by a small force like ours.
Yeah. So we would. I mean, the God Captain could be expected to be found on the walls. Do you think?
I don't think like he would be up there all the time. They'd probably call for him.
No, you know that he usually does patrols and such, but usually he's not at the wall itself. He's probably in the keep somewhere.
Yeah. Someone would probably say, "Hey, guard captain, we got a fucking situation up here. Take a look." Guard captain looks and like, "The fuck is this?"
So basically, get up there in his face with everything we have. And then say, all right, this Vathas will fall unless you open the gate and let us in to kill the Baroness.
And if they
join us and keep your job or die.
And if they refuse, we withdraw, because we've got time too, and we can make all sorts of crazy equipment to ruin his dreams.
No, how are you doing?
Everything he ever wanted about keeping Vathas intact can be ruined.
You don't even know the shit we found.
That's right.
There's a flying aircraft carrier just waiting to be halfway repaired and hammer into that wall.
I mean, we can show up with the quadruple repeating ballistas.
We should. We should.
And unlike the Baroness, we're actually capable and we're doing shit. Look at us.
Look at what we did. You sent us away with 100 thieves.
Right.
We come back with spider people and those thieves. Half of those thieves.
It's just the Treaty of Silk?
Yep.
The Zan are like, yeah, okay, fine. Whatever, silk. I like silk. It's nice. When next time we visit the fungal jungle, the Zan are all wearing silk garments.
Mm-hmm. Like togas.
Yeah.
They traded. They become the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You do. Yes.
The sun has conquered.
They came over the caverns on
This
elephants.
land is Roman. What?
I'm gonna play my harp and watch it burn. You do know that after the first storage level, you come up into the keep itself. There you have the Baroness's audience chamber. You have some of the kennels, and you also have the entrances to the the slave cameras can be accessed from the first floor, of course. But you also have your old rooms where you actually dwelled, was on that level.
So we know that level fairly well.
Yes.
Wait, so that's kennels, bedrooms, and what was that?
Audience chamber for the Baroness.
So the secret entrance into the guard turret, where does that connect into? On what floor?
It comes into the audience chamber.
Okay.
And the problem is then, if we take the walls by brute force, then the guard up here will most definitely be alerted, right?
Oh yeah, loud sounds of battle. They would definitely know.
Yeah. And then we have to pass through this garden to get...
And we would know our way through the garden, but that wouldn't change. Getting sniped at.
It would shoot at us all the time.
I'm just trying to imagine us being dwarves now and being forced to do it this way.
I mean, somehow taking out those people would be wonderful.
Or just ignoring them, not creating enough noise that would draw their attention.
Yeah, but if we're gonna brute force the gatehouse down here,
Right.
they will know. There's no way we can call in the
Yes.
guard captain and have him defect without everyone knowing everything.
Well, we're not brute forcing attacking. We're showing up.
Yeah, that's true.
If there's gonna be battle, then there can be battle. But as the attacking host, we have the advantage of stepping away and saying, "Okay, we can't resolve this by going in and killing the Baroness. Let's build up."
I mean, after that, they will be alerted, though.
Yeah.
Basically, with this approach, if they're lazy or not does not matter at all.
Right.
It is mute. We will have to pass through this garden of hell regardless.
I have revealed the first level for you.
There it is.
Not a lot of rooms.
Nope.
They're also tiny.
No.
So 1 square is 1 square.
Yeah, 1 square is 1 square. Keep
Roughly.
in mind that the battle map shit is you standing within a 5-foot zone and moving around comfortably for battle.
Still, I would have imagined it to be slightly larger.
Nah, it's massive fortress village. It's not meant for premium comfort.
So they
I
have.
guess.
People are exiled here. They hate themselves.
Oh yes.
Here's a question: how big's the prison?
The prison?
The
Well, there isn't really a prison on this level. It will probably be down in a slave camp somewhere, cages, basically.
They just kept all the prisoner drows in cages.
Yes.
the very
And,
few prisoners that might.
I think most are just executed or sent with us.
or sent up to the torturer Harak.
You say Harak,
Or to the alchemist. I mean,
Yeah, one torture's the same as
test
another,
subjects.
right?
exactly.
Well,
Okay.
so right now, I mean, when we get into the storage after this whole thing, then perhaps, fighting down there, it'll draw the guard from up here down to fight us at the stairway. At that point, we can hope to go through the secret entrance and take them from both sides.
Maybe.
Pass above them, basically, and then take down.
If we've ended up brute forcing and having to fight our way through every inch, then yeah, we could try that. But sneaking into that secret entrance is still going to have an active guard post at the top shooting at us. They're gonna know. Yes.
The guard post here is currently the problem.
It's not a problem we can circumvent. We just hope they're inattentive. They're gonna have great cover up there. We're gonna be in horrible positions. It was made that way.
Yeah. We have the ballistas here, turn them around.
They probably can't rotate that far. They probably weren't designed to.
Well, I suppose the first thing then is to show up
Yeah.
with as much force as we can. It's sad that the Zan don't want to send a few
I
people.
say, like, as many bodies, like, we're not even, like, using you to, like, fight. We just
Oh, you don't
wanna,
need to
like,
fight. You just need to be there. Just
you
show
know,
up.
Yeah, that was my... Just show up. I do
If
that
we
all
have
the
like
time.
100 Zan, then if we actually attack and they're not there, they're
Yeah.
going to be really paranoid.
You know,
Like, where's all the Zan?
But I
Oh, God!
Like, you know, at least we'll have like Miku, and you know, Miku's been around and been interrogated by the alchemist sufficiently, and the alchemist probably has a problem with what happens if we fail, because and furthermore, we've kind of told him that we plan on going down and stirring up shit. Well, eventually we might die, and the people whose shit got stirred might come back up here pissed.
You know, saying what you want of Vothus. I mean, he hasn't really been as active as during Teresia's glory days, you know. But if shit gets stirred up, yeah, maybe they will see. We need to reclaim things.
You know, the nobles might be so busy with infighting, but they might like pull themselves together long enough. Like you,
Vytharia,
I hate you.
we all banded together to kill your kind decades ago. You're still alive.
Get them!
We even sent that Baroness. We exiled her intentionally to kill you.
Oh yes. Yeah, the alchemist has not really been very forthcoming to supply with soldiers.
Like, you know, Zan are peaceful people. He's wanting to like calm everything down. I mean, it's. I'd expect it. At the very least, you know, maybe consideration with the fact, like, maybe he can look or maybe take care of himself that guard post that's on the borders of the fungal jungle, because that is right there overlooking the territory. And the Drow have been executing raids from that outpost for as long as Vothus has been here, basically.
They sure have. Yeah, you can suggest that to the alchemist, certainly.
You know, the alchemist might not want to go so far as to actually leave the fungal jungle, but if we can actually attempt to make use out of him at all in the Zan for this purpose, then I would like them to deal with the guard outpost. Or at least attempt to suggest the idea.
It is it is an alliance, right? So we would expect everyone to do their part. And if the Skizral are willing to go fight with us against Vothus, then maybe it would be
And if the Zan
fair.
aren't willing to pitch in anything at all to at least take care of the guard outpost, then, you know, maybe everything we've done for the Zan over the past 2 months hasn't meant anything. It's a two-way street, you know.
If we could just take care of all their problems and all they would have to do was smile and wave, right? That's not really how it works.
Right. You can't
Sadly.
play us.
We've done a lot. We hauled that stupid ass telescope all the way.
Right, but still a marvel to this day. I'll use the sage. I'll get him on the alchemist. I'll wear down his... wear him
Having
down.
constantly nag at him.
Yeah.
Think of all you could learn.
Like, even, like, the singer, too, after I, like, impressed her, like, every day, like, the sage and singer alchemist is like, after, like, day 17, Fine, shut up, fine!
God damn it!
I keep hearing you in my head, I can't escape it!
The worst!
But that's probably something I agree. I think we should try to. At least, I mean, the guard post, it can't be that bad, right?
Right, I mean, and I understand, like, extra manpower, it's just...
Yeah, you can make diplomacy checks to try to suggest this to the alchemist.
Sure.
Flip back to my other token.
I know, flip back to the token. In this world.
Exactly.
I load this map really slowly.
This
There we go.
plane.
Let's see. We'll go ahead and be inspired about this, because it can be.
I used my hero point to get a 5.
Well, both rolls still got me a 20.
Well, let's see here. That's how we do it. And that's 20.
No, see here. Well, so describe this natural diplomacy 20.
Well, Alauneari goes in there, and you know she feels like this is a very reasonable request, and that probably shines through because usually she's used to really trying to make people believe and agree to things that are not that reasonable. And so using all her Agara's given might, enhancing her beauty, her just sort of trustworthiness shining from her, she basically explains the situation to the alchemist, trying to always use what she knows about the Zan to make everything appear as it really is to her. I mean, she tries to make him understand her point of view, right? If this doesn't go well, this will make more problems. It is something we have to do together. It is a two-way street. It is something that would really help if the Zan could make sure that no drow, that basically we got the gatehouse opened without having the people of Vothas know.
And despite being like this centuries-old being, maybe even millennia, with like this vast sense motive and inherent suspicion of the drow, it's like, the outpost is right fucking there, on the outskirts of the fungal jungle. They have been executing raids. I've seen them. I know they take our people.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else, this would show the Skizral and his own people that the things that happened to the Zan, the people who died and such, will be, in spirit at least, brought back. Maybe not into this song, but surely doing this will bring them into some songs.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, the alchemist listens to this very intently. It seems like your words definitely sway him. Alauneari is amazingly well spoken. She's saying all the right things and in exactly the right way. And the alchemist, seems to actually turn from being quite, cold to the idea to listen intently and nod and agree. And at the end of it, he do promises that the Xan will take care of that guard post.
He like slams like his plant fist against
Basically.
the table. Yes! I love it! We're doing it!
Brilliant!
Fucking Alauneari's like a sports agent working a client.
Good.
Yes.
Get psyched!
Exactly. He promises.
Oh, yes, I am. I just do it.
And so the alchemist leaves the city and personally leads the charge. So, you fucking drop!
Break their arm.
Throws his bombs, yes, the whole hill just explodes.
Like, maybe they just call him the alchemist. He's like this massively like, powerful, like, barbarian or like other sort of warrior.
People
Crashes
like,
through
what
the
is
outpost
this?
himself.
What's even happening?
Don't you run from me! He reaches out like these tendrils. They shoot and like grab the bodies.
Yeah, you haven't seen the alchemist fight. You're sure he's quite ferocious.
Yeah. Well, if they promise to take care of that problem, then that's taken care of.
Yeah.
Yes,
They are quite capable.
Yeah. That will allow easier passage for the Skizral to come through that broken outpost there later.
The alchemist promises that he will commit soldiers to handle this
And
problem.
with that taken care of, that also allows an alternative if you don't want to go through the dark road. Because with no outpost,
yes.
we could bring everyone through the fungal jungle.
That might actually be faster. I really considered. We can go more straight way. We don't have to go all the weird sort of.
See, it'll be inherently slower if we bring gnomes with us, because gnomes are slower.
Well, I think that's still worth it. If nothing else, to make them visible, and to have them be part of it.
Yeah.
Assuming that festival still stands.
Well,
we trust Tarlin, right?
If
Right?
something,
Do we?
if something
Do we
else
really?
if something else has gone awry there, then maybe we won't have gnome allies. We'll make something work. We'll ride in with Skizral and we'll just fuck up the
If the gnomes do well in a battle, we can let them try to build us a flying airship, flying thing.
I'm sure the book has that listed. Contingency 37. In the event Fastervolt is lost.
We never conquered it. We just took Vothas at the right beginning.
We just like turn the
Yes,
army
Skip the whole
around.
fungal jungle. Screw that.
Turn around, take Vothas' book over.
Yeah.
We were lucky with the rolls. Got 20s
Yeah,
all the time. Just took it single-handedly.
The Baroness is like level 12. We just yawn right there. have a Gestalt
Like, oh, I rolled a
character.
crit. Oh, another crit. Oh, she rolled a 1. And another one.
She keeps rolling 1s, my goodness.
Still critting. Oh, what's the chance?
Unfortunately, her experience level is so far ahead of me that I can't get any because it's seen as impossible that I could win this without divine assistance.
Oh,
Exactly.
the first level characters descent against.
But I have God on my side. Who needs XP?
Good. So that's taken care of then.
Indeed.
Well, we can bring this news to the White Spider. I'm sure she'd be delighted.
I mean,
Oh,
we're still
yes.
at the party, see?
Yeah, exactly. Just take the alchemist to the side and talk some sense into him.
Right. He's like, yes, yes! All the other Zan are like, I've never seen him that excited in 900 years.
He has moods?
I had no idea.
Completely new. He's always been like, oh, yeah.
I must tell the
yes,
sage
sure.
this. He's gonna flip his cap.
He was always so sarcastic. That's not natural to him. We're just being a douche the whole time. Oh.
Oh. Well,
He's like so mad about like this angry thorn and like his like plant body for the past 700 years.
Yep.
Can't pull it out. Pulled out of his hand, and he's like, oh, thank you. My hands were too big for that. I was too embarrassed to ask the others.
I owe you a life boon, and suddenly the alchemist travels with the
Oh, yes. Oh, that would be okay. She'd sit on his back or his head or something.
Right on
style, yeah, like a kid.
She'd like to have sort of him as a bodyguard. That'd look pretty badass.
Tug the moss to get him like change direction.
No,
Anyway,
well, let's not. Yeah, she stops thinking about that really quickly. She doesn't know who listens.
right, like more
All right.
serious concerns. Yeah, with that sort of hope in mind, that a show of force will be all that's needed. We're going to need to check to make sure that we can actually bring forces from Faster Vault, which means we're going to need to take some time to analyze. And then, with that in mind, since we wouldn't have to worry about anything at all, and we could be more spacious and free, we should probably haul them back to the fungal jungle. We can pick up the Skisral as we go. And then we can all meet up in Vathas, and hopefully just completely depriving the Baroness of information and going through the fungal jungle will just blow everything out of the water.
Yeah, the scouts might be her best scouts watching over that road, but that's the positive. That means they're not there.
Right.
Well, we did encounter drow patrols in the fungal jungle before, so assuming that she has like spies in the fungal jungle as well,
It's
or scouts at
possible.
least.
Thought
But-
were that they came from the garrison.
Yeah.
That'll now be taken care of.
Yeah, and, she might get, infrequent reports. It also might be an only tell me something whenever actually something of interest happens. And she might be out of manpower at this point. I mean, she only has so many bodies to spare. Vathas is not that powerful.
That's the thing. If we have the numbers, I mean, that's already a good thing. In addition, if we have freaky spider people, most people probably haven't seen them before. And it could be quite a terrifying sight. In addition, if you know something can climb up your wall, that makes
Right.
it so much
Or
less.
circumvent the
we'll
wall,
just sit on
climb up the ceiling, and then drop down behind the wall. It's like, what's the point, guard captain?
That's kind of their specialty.
Right.
Understood. Well, we'll talk to the White Spider and see how. I mean, she'll permit the best warriors. Good. That's something. So I think
And she's gonna have a time to repair. It's probably gonna be a month before we swing back through here.
yeah,
Maybe-
probably. If we got a time to prepare.
It's we're probably gonna need some time to check on Festival, make sure it can survive whatever we're gonna pull out of it, and then try to get all these people who've never gone through the fungal jungle before through the fungal jungle.
Training curse. Yeah, and then I mean, that'll also give the alchemist time to figure out a plan in which he can take care of the garrison without them sort of telling everyone.
Right.
And even if they tell everyone, I mean, what you gonna do?
The
Attack
fucking-
Zan?
Yeah, the mushroom people turned against me. What do I do?
Oh, if they carry the flag of the Tri Alliance, that'll fuck with the mind.
The Skisral weave together their artisans diet, the Zan.
Oh, we should totally do that. We should totally have that done.
Zan
Let's
had their
get some flags made. This is the Silk Alliance. Let's
Yes.
make that flag. We need that to happen.
So the Zan contribute the poles in their own special artisan potions to dye the thing just right. After the Skisral weave them, the gnomes can erect marble poles on which to hold these banners.
I mean, Alauneari will actually, since this is a great idea, she'll pitch the idea to the other, to the alchemist and the white spider, that as long as we fight against a common enemy in the alliance, then we can carry the banner of the alliance to signify our friendship and our duty towards each other, and to show our enemies that we stand united.
Symbolism is very powerful.
Indeed.
Also for our own people.
Huh.
A flag of silk, of course, that has all the three markings on it.
Sure. Yeah, they seem to agree that this sounds like a wonderful idea.